Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are, whenever you're watching this. This is your boy Turgon, the wise guy, coming at you with a new video today. It's a juicy day. Juicy. Um, we are now 3.5 weeks into this War of the Ring campaign. Of course, playing Lord of the Rings Rise to War. And I play on a team called Yadu. Yabba dabba doo. Shout out to Danny and Pooh. um, and we're playing the War of the Ring campaign here. As you can see, I've been racking up some merit here for 3.5 weeks. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with the way the season is going. All in all, there's some caveats, of course. And what we're gonna do in today's video is a couple of things. We're gonna do two things. I'm gonna do a quick overview of the season where we're at now. Let me go to the map to do that. And then I want to just walk through some battle reports with you guys for a little while to see, um, show you some ways that you can look at reports to maybe glean some additional information and potentially use that information, make adjustments to your commanders, or at least understand how you could make adjustments to your commanders. I realize, there's a variety of different players in this game between the free to plays and the low spenders, and then of course there's whales and kraken. I don't spend as much as a lot of people in this game do, but I also spend more than a lot of people in this game do. So I'm kind of somewhere in the middle of the spectrum, maybe a little bit towards the right of the spending spectrum. um, so I just want to kind of share the knowledge so that anyone who's watching this, regardless of how much you spend in the game, can take away that knowledge and maybe seek to enhance your account and counter different things that you're seeing happening when you are losing, or understand why it is that you are completely dominating it. Both are viable and fun scenarios. Anyway, here you see the map, and oh my god, it's still a mess. I mean, there's less pins than there were a week ago, but there's more red pins. We got a red pin down here. We got a red pin up here. We got red pin over here. We got a red pin over here. And we got a red pin up here. So up here in Greater Rune, we've got a fellowship called Hive Mind. They're like 50 dudes, and they have made it all the way to the Greater Rune Keep. And I believe that has drawn a response from the evil side. Looks like Real is leading that initiative with support from BCNU and LSDA to repel them. They want to keep that keep. Obviously, it is a core rune world, and it's a challenge for good to fight there because the majority of this region is in desert lands. And for anyone who hasn't ever played Rune before, we have these things on our rings now called faction abilities, and it usually takes 2 ring points in order to activate. And for Rune, their ring ability is plus 12% damage. This is for the army and the commander. Just a flat plus 12% damage whenever they're fighting on desert lands. So fighting near Greater Rune has to be fun for them. Um, and probably not so much for us. But Hive Mind's doing a great job up there, kind of drawing evil forces away from the front lines over here. Down here, we're fighting at the crossing between Ashen Plains and Daggerlad. The evil teams are trying to retake Daggerlad, and this is one of the points of entry that they're attempting to infiltrate. So, great job by the other good side teams to kind of keep them contained there. They're also using a kind of a cheap little. There's like a glitch. It's called a glitch, but really I don't know what you want to call it. Let me just go to this area here and see if I can find where it is that the glitch is occurring. There's like an area along this river somewhere where evil side can cross without a crossing, and I forget where it is. It might be this one. It's somewhere around here or thereabouts. Maybe it's up a little farther. There's some rocks here. That's not going to help them, so I think it's probably below this. I forget where the spot is. It's somewhere around here, but they used it to cross the river here and attack us in the northern section of Daggerlad, which we had completely cleaned. And now it's a little bit of a mess again, as you can see over here. And there's some fighting. Oh, can I attack this yet? No, not yet. We got probably a little bit of time until we can do that. That should be fun. They don't seem to be attacking our side quite yet. So that's what's going on over here at any rate. And then, of course, we got the Black Gate. What's going on at the gate? The gate is kind of been a seesaw match between good and evil for the past, I don't know, day or so, where we have everything clogged up. We're just waiting for Frodo to get here so that the event can start and we can move forward with the campaign. It's probably going to be a couple of days until that happens. So we're basically just playing containment here until then. And this should not be any kind of super secret strategic information that I'm sharing erroneously that our competitors may be able to take something away from. It's pretty obvious what we're doing. They know what we're doing. We know what they're doing. And it's fine. I think at this point in the season, we all kind of have reached a state where we know the outcome is probably going to be. A week or so ago, I was not this confident, but because the competition was really fierce from Evil, my hats off to them. MORG, Ace, um, who are some other guys I can throw some shout outs to over there? Dio, you guys have really been fierce competitors and done a great job. I don't know what it's been like from your perspective, so I'd love towards the end of the season or just after the season ends when we return to Bag End, if we could do like a little forum together and have a discussion to talk about how things went and kind of just have do like a post mortem. I think that would be a lot of fun. Maybe Fellowship of the Rings would be willing to sponsor us or house us or what's host us. That's the word I was looking for on his podcast because that could be a really cool, fun conversation. And Fellow is on the server somewhere playing with the Fellowship Tower. But I don't know how much he's actually been playing that account because his time has mostly been spent with his main with the Pirates. So at any rate, back to the season thing. I guess I've kind of talked about all the pins. There's also some light action going on over here. We cleaned up South of Philly, and we took that a couple of days ago. We finished cleaning it up and kicking evil out of there. So that's where we're at right now. Frodo is here in the Dead Marshes. He's moving as fast, I think, at this point as he pretty much can. We had a little bit of an incident, which was interesting, where this rogue team, aptly named Rogue, went rogue and took this capital, which the other good side teams really didn't want, agree with, for lack of a better term. They just kind of went and did it and didn't consult us, and it's caused a whole bunch of consternation. And that's all the attention that I want to give this particular event in this video. Just to point out that this is not something that all the good side, we didn't send them to do this. This wasn't planned. We were not involved in this, and don't like the fact that this team has just decided to do whatever they're going to do because ultimately when you look across the breadth, the width and breadth of all the good side fellowships that have contributed towards this season, I would have to say all in all Rogu's contribution has been less than just about everyone's. And I'm not showing you this list to go through production because ultimately this just is displaying farm, and farm really only contributes towards your ability to sustain yourself in combat. But I'm more so just wanting to walk through the list and give shout outs to all of these teams. I'm with Yadu, and it's a really fun team. I love this team, and I appreciate everyone who's on it. I already gave my shout out to Danny and Pooh. I'll give you a second one. Also, shout outs to our courageous leader, Pure Hate, and some of the other members of our team, such as Zeke. Let's go, Sir. Love you guys. Um, F Huck. I love just pronouncing his name that way. It makes me laugh every time. I can't even help it. All the leadership team though, in general, Weps, um, Mandingo. Phew, so many good people on this team. Also, some shout outs to some of our other really strong players that I enjoy playing with so much, like Uber Elf, Vanilla, Pong, um, Danny. I said again. That's the third time. Jesus, Danny, I got you now 3 shout outs, so that means I don't have to do no shout outs for 2 more videos, right? This is covered, or can I bank these or what? You let me know in the comments, bro. But at any rate, I can't give shout outs to all of my favorite players because ultimately I love everyone on this team, top to bottom. HISP has been a tremendous ally. Swan, great job. Gray, great people. Tower, like I mentioned earlier, have been great. Ring have been very collaborative and helpful. There's the Rogue team, super strong, sitting in 11th place in the farm. Hive Mind has been a definitely much more impactful and stronger team than them, and they're 3 positions below them in terms of the farm. So that's something I want to point out is farm is not indicative at all of how good of a team you are. In fact, there are often times when you're looking at this kind of a chart where teams that are at the top, they might have a lot of farm, but they don't PvP a lot. They're just farmers. That's why we call them farmers. Yadu, definitely a team of farmers. We are farmers. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Uh, just kidding, because then when you come over to the contribution rankings here, Seal Door, another great guy, member of our leadership team, love a Seal Door. Antelius, great new addition to the team this season, the same as Alexa Thracia. Um, Thanks so much for joining us. Hope you stay for a long time. But everyone in this top 10 list is Yadu. Skulls is Yadu. This is the first player that is not Yadu. Uber Elf, Yadu. Nestor, Yadu. Wes, Tower, I believe. Yep. So 2 players in the top 15 that are not Yadu. Really, you know, great job by everyone. Tak, leader of Swan, great player. Really appreciate his collaboration. Just a great job by everyone across the board. So anyway, I'm getting away from what I had planned to do during this video, which is look at some reports. And you can see these guys are out. This is honestly, I'm really enjoying this. They're clearing some of my farm out west here in the western regions. And I actually appreciate this because it's freeing up tiles for me to eat more tiles out in the east. So thanks, Susty, for relieving me of some of these tiles that I really honestly don't give a shit about, because you can see it's not affecting my production at all. It's not affecting my resources really at all either. I will get those tiles back somewhere else. So if you think that this is impactful, it's not. And if you're having fun, I hope you're having fun, because at least if this is what you need to do to have fun, then you do what you got to do to have fun. I'm not trying to take fun away from everyone. And if anything, I'm actually appreciative that I'm contributing towards your fun. So, the first thing I want to look at is some trash reports here. I'm experimenting with a new build. People are like, what the hell? Keepers and sharpshooters? What is this? I'm doing the gigantic hammer with Rend, and this is mostly probably, and well, this will help if I run into a Witch King. I'm not PvPing with them at all. I'm just experimenting with this. Really, what I'm hopefully going to do is be able to use this against some of them Caldoons. There's like a gajillion Caldoons with chariots and Fallen and Dragoons and halberdiers, and it's just a real pain in the butt. So I'm trying to find a better natural counter for this. This is still work in progress. Level 38. He's not ready for PvP by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's an interesting build that I wanted to share with the community. I got the heal going on. I got fleeting moments. So 2 units, 75% chance to evade the next instance of damage in round 2. And I think this works really well. And this is why you want to have only 2 units in your army, because if you have a third unit, that whatever unit is not affected when this procs gets left hung out to dry. And the results are there. This is really a full damage mitigation build where I'm trying to evade damage, heal it, and then I've got some extra points in Wizard here for the negative defense during the first 3 rounds. And I'm only hitting mobs with it right now, but the results are telling. I mean, good damage. I'm receiving 26,000 damage, but I've healed through 21,000 of it. So my losses are very minimized and I am crushing the enemy. And that's what you're looking for with the build. Will it be applicable in a PvP setting? No, probably not. But it might be worth trying later once I can get Gandalf to like 46 and I can max out Wizard at 15, get another 15 focus. His focus will probably be about 350 at that point, 345, I'm going to guess, because you're going to get the 15 focus from maxing out this title. So that'll get him to 340, and then 8 more levels is going to get me at least 8 more points of focus. So that should work out pretty. I think that this will be an interesting build. I might not do enough damage to make it worth it, but at least it'll give my opponents something different to see, because they're used to seeing the same thing from me. They're used to seeing either Gimli or Isildur or Elrond, and rightfully so, because those 3 commanders have done a ton of work for me. I'm also playing with this guy. I love using this build at some point virtually every season when I'm fighting evil. It's the Knight build, where you just are a Witch King eater. And I plan to eat Witch Kings with him. But again, I need to get him to like level 40, 45 in order for him to get there. Now let's go to some PvP reports, which I got to scroll down a little bit to find, as you can see. Let's not look at a failure where I have one command. That doesn't make any sense. This is a good report. Let's take a look at this. All right, you can see there's not a lot going on with the gear, so this is a pretty shit Gothmog. My condolences. Completely annihilated this guy. I mean, 477 dead to 3810. Lot of damage, little damage. And you can, here's what's going on with my Elrond here. Just for transparency, I'm going all out orc damage. Might of Elves. Resilience Archers. Full Aegis. I just filled this thing. Thank you so much to the Matham gods for finally giving me the last Hunter's Guide. I needed to do that. And then the Carved Dragon Tooth with Tactical Mark. He's a beast. I love Elrond. I love him. It's so funny because 2 or 3 seasons ago I was talking trash on Elrond. Like, no, why would you want to use Elrond? He's not that great. I was a big Gil-galad user, but nowadays Gil-galad, the book is out on him. Everyone knows how to counter Gil-galad, so I really only use him to sweep. And here's a Sauron, and it's not full, so I'm not going to even look at that. And this is some funny reports. I mean, it looks lopsided, but I mean, they pulled all their fighters here. There's Dio. Dio is ridiculous. Look at this Sunid. Insane. This is a T3 unique with 2 gold stars. Bro's putting some money in. This guy, I think, has definitely spent more than me, and he's got less seasons played. Or he might be have spent about what I have, but I have played. This is my 10th season, and I think this is like his 5th or 6th, maybe. I don't know. I have to. I'll look at his stuff um, another time. But really, all in all, this didn't get me a whole lot of viable fights. A lot of crap. So here's the first report that I want to look at. That's a bad report. And this is my Isildur for all to see. I'm all in on Bane Orcs. I do 28% damage to Orcs, Uruk-hai, and Trolls in this stack. So I do 46% damage, extra damage. Well, actually, it's not. I should word that properly. I don't do 46% more damage to Orcs. Orcs receive 46% more damage between the Heath Lane and Champion of the Light. Well, okay, so this makes it look like I increase my damage versus these units, whereas this gives them they receive 18% more damage. So it stacks in a way, but it's like six of one, half a dozen of another. It's a total of 46%. I go Dunedain Bloodline with my other extra points because I want extra defense. And probably, honestly, that's the only thing that kept my units alive for this battle, because this is all physical damage. There's nothing elemental going on here. And this is Dio's Khaldun. And it's just absolutely. I mean, you saw he had a 4-star gold gigantic hammer with Rend, and he also has a 2-star gigantic hammer with Frenzy on it. Jeez, and a max out Great Plate of the East with Fortitude of Evil Men, Fortitude of Soldiers, 4-star Cask of Pride, and then Critical Care, Fine Smoking Pipe. I mean, this Khaldun, this is the epitome of what you want to do with a Khaldun, in my opinion. Uh, I'm gonna favorite this because this is really what you want to do with him. The only thing I would recommend doing differently is chucking the halberdiers and putting dragoons in there, so it's a full straight up cavalry, and then instead of the critical care smoking pipe, you might want to look at doing a mirroring reins with mounted unit supply. It's probably going to do about the same healing, but I think the stats from the Mirror's Reigns are stronger than the Fine Smoking Pipe. But this is certainly a viable build also. It's really, really, really strong. As you can see, he completely demolished my really, really strong Isildur. I have his unique. I've got tactical maneuvers, 3-star refined mithril coat, and I've got a Cask of the Submerged Isle with 3-star refined Aegis, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. And I go for full damage mitigation with this build. It's a physical damage mitigation build, and it's really the only thing that kept me alive. Khaldun would have slaughtered me if I didn't have myself configured this way, and he slaughtered me regardless. I mean, this is just an insane amount of damage that I received. And look at the commander damage. Now, normally when you see Khaldun, you see 20, 30, 40, 50,000 commander damage. But with the Frenzy build, it really jacks his damage up. And he already does a lot of soldier damage because of Hunt Down. So this is an interesting report. I actually want to see. Yeah, that's really, really strong. Really, really fun. Really good job, Dio. So this is a good report for me. I'll talk through that. And just again on this, I mean, this you can just see what happened here really from a macro view. You don't really need to go into the combat report, the details to understand what happened here. You can just see based upon the gear, the units, what happens. So I just drew my conclusions based upon that. If it was a closer fight, then I would maybe look to see in more detail what happened. What the heck? I never even seen this unit before. Either way, this guy got absolutely annihilated by my Gimli. I don't get a ton of great Gimli reports, so I am pleased with this. But then I look at the gear of this Armored Sauron and I go, okay, well, this makes sense because this gear is not top tier gear. None of the pieces are max upgraded except for the Bone Mask. And I don't care about Hysteria because I basically mono stack my Gimli. These two units have evasion, so they evade the first instance of damage, and then they basically just die. Taking a little bit of pressure off of the Guardians here, who I stack defense and HP for. That's what my Gimli does. I stack HP with the Brutal Helmet and the Wash, Draught Calabash, whatever, and then I put some defense on here, and then the Unique. So I just let Gimli go to town. And he had an opportunity to do that for a change, which is a lot of fun. Let's see, anything. And there's a Grima that got demolished here. Let's check out this Grima. He's okay. 4-star gigantic hammer for the extra army attack. Defense from the Hallberg. Melee vigor. I like this. Fortitude of soldiers, mitigating damage. He's got the heal. He builds this Grima pretty right, in my opinion, in terms of the skill build and whatnot. Even's got some points in outflank there, which is pretty good. I don't know. Maybe I would put 1 point in enfeeble instead of 3 points in this, just so that when Master of Mischief does its thing, you can take advantage of a little bit of extra damage boost from the enfeeble there. But I mean, again, that's totally your call and probably makes very, very little impact overall. But this guy got completely demolished by my Elrond, who just does an insane amount of damage in the first 2 rounds due to Convener. And that's how I build him. He's a giant nuke. In this report, I don't have tier 4s. I'm running T2s with the marksman, and they're still quite effective, as you can see. Let's take a look at the troop damage. Yeah, a lot of damage over here, here, and here. A really balanced attack in this instance versus Grima. In this report, we see my Isildur take on this Sauron. This is a pretty strong Sauron. Obviously, lots of room for improvement with this helmet. He should at least be upgrading this more before using it. 1-star golds are not as strong as max purples. You want this to at least be 3-star. Like this one's 3-star. A gold piece of equipment, in my opinion, is not viable until you've upgraded it at least a 3-star. So this is a up and coming Sauron, and if it was stronger, he probably would have done a lot more damage to me. And like you can see here, my army is not anywhere near full because of this report, which I'll come back to in a second. I just want to take a look at this in a little bit more detail. I'm actually out damaged him, so I did more damage than him, but he killed more units. So this is truly what I consider a draw. However, he wins the draw because I outlevel him. He killed more troops. And in this report, we have a dead gore bag. 355,000 damage received. I love it. I love it. It makes me happy. Ooh, 188,000 damage from Dunedain, and there's no ranged units in here, and Dunedain are supposed to be really good versus ranged units. So I'm really happy with this kind of a report. Let's take a look at this guy's gear. It's not terrible. I mean, it's all 5-star refined other than unique that's at 4-star. So what is he doing? Hmm. Interesting. 30% chance to inflict madness against my Aegis with a 66% chance to block it. But this is round 2, so I guess this goes off at every 2 rounds throughout the fight. It's interesting. It's an interesting report. Let's see here. All right, not full Grima, mostly full Grima, I guess. Now you can see my Elrond has the T4. And, man, it didn't even have a chance to do a lot of damage. He tanked more damage. Man, this Grima must have had outflank. No, he didn't. How about that? But there's the Enfeeble. Maybe that had some impact. I probably blew myself up because of the Enfeeble. And we could tease that out through the details in the combat report, but just for the sake of brevity, I'm gonna skip that. So you can see, oh, this is a nice. This is not. This is kind of some weird gear for a Kyrune. Okay, Mighty Evil Men. That makes sense. So this is good. I don't know about the skill build. I don't have Kyrune on my in my evil commanders, so I don't know if this is the correct way to build him. Ace, I consult you for that, sir. Please let us know. How is evil Basil's Kyrune? Leave us a comment. I know you're going to be watching this, bro. What can he do better? He looks like he needs some coaching. Or is this correct? Is this how you build him? And I just countered him beautifully with my Elrond. because this is just a ton of damage. 322,000 damage. I'm used to seeing Kyrunes do some healing, so that's why I feel like this build is not correct. And also, where's the Fallen? No Fallen? Whew, ton of damage. 56 dead T4s. Ouch. Here's another gore bag. This is a poopy gore bag though. No unique. I'll personally, my opinion of gore bag is without the unique, he sucks. He needs the unique to be viable in combat. Otherwise, he's just a Tyler. That's just my opinion. But I think that this Gimli report illustrates my point. Kind of lends towards my point here. Let's check out this report. Ooh, how's this guy? Okay, he just chucks whatever, some leftover gear on him. Not very strong. Doesn't have the teeth. Doesn't have the R5. So he just got massacred because I do a lot of damage to the to orcs, and so they probably just cut through him like a warm knife through butter. Woo! Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. What happened after this? Ah, Khaldun. Firmatech has a pretty the gear does because this is only 3-star. It looks like okay, not that great, but it's a mithril coat. Barrier, oh, it's okay. I mean, only it works through the first 2 rounds. You really want the tactical maneuvers for this. He's probably waiting for that piece of gear, then he'll swap it out. But all the defense you get from the mithril coat makes it, I guess, worth it. Not sure about the skill build. I don't know why you would put 8 points in experienced warrior and only 1 in hunt down. I would do I don't know. I never used Spirit Answer at all. I would take these 3 points and stick them in Hunt Down. That would increase your army damage significant much. I think that would be much more impactful than what these 3 points is giving you. Because look at the amount of army damage he did, 39,000. So you're gonna lose maybe 10,000 commander damage from taking that poison away, and you're gonna increase your soldier damage probably by 20 to 30,000 from the Hunt Down buff. But that's just my estimate, and that's just my opinion. I don't know everything. Man, these Dunedain do so much work for me. Such a good unit now. I used to hate Dunedain 2, 3, 4 seasons ago, and now they're like one of my favorite units. Smack the fortress. Ouch. This is kind of an average Sunid. Again, I don't know about what this build is, if this is the correct build for Sunid or not. Evil players watching this, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this of Dirt McGirt's Sunid, because I've seen this Sunid do some work, but it seems like my not quite full Elrond handled her fairly easily, and of course she's not full either. But it's an interesting report. I like candy. Here's an Undying. That's an interesting Undying. Pretty solid gear. Looks like the skill build is correct. I'm happy with this report all in all. Because Undying has... Where is it? Is it this one? No. Yeah, Evade. Undying, I kind of think of like Evil's version of Gil-galad. So, considering I don't have Evasion, sorry, Pursuit, I am happy with the support. Of course, he's using a ton of Orcs, Trolls, and Uruk-hai, which walks right into my Champion of the Light Heathlane combo, which is really nice. That probably did a lot of work for me in this report, all in all. And there's the Dunedain again, doing a ton of work for me. Rangers, oh, my Rangers, you poor babies, got massacred. Everyone loves to go after the T2 units first. But that's kind of the point. That's why this build is so strong and balanced, is because the Heralds and the Rangers enable the Dunedain to do their job. This guy isn't even in a warband. I agree with the way he builds his Khaldun, though. His gear ain't the sexiest, but it is all purple and pretty much all refined. Melee vigor, evil men strength. Yeah, this guy's got it going on. I'm pretty happy with this report um, since Khaldun, I consider Khaldun a pretty solid counter for Isildur. So, oh, and another Khaldun. There's just so many Khalduns. Is this the same guy? No, different guy. Same build, pretty much, though, although he's got Resolve. I'm not a big fan of collaboration. I would rather have put the point in tribal tactics to give you the chance of follow-up on your evil men units, but he decided to put Reapers on them. And that's the only reason why this report is as even as it is because, as I've just discussed, my Isildur massacres orcs. So that's reflected here. Let's check out. Do I have anything else? Oh, here's a good Sunend. So really, my Isildur counters Sunens. I just eat Sunens for breakfast. So if you're looking for a solid Sunend counter, you're going to want to emulate my Isildur build because let me see if I can find the report. This report made me so happy. This is actually a pretty good report here versus a Mouth of Sauron. Although I'm not sure how. Yeah, this Mouth of Sauron is just a pather or something. It's not an actually good. This is the report. 2 Sunens, 1 Isildur. Crushed. And this is not a bad Sunend. Again, I'm not sure about the skill build. I guess it's right. I don't know. Let me know. But I completely just annihilated this Sunend. Annihilate them. And that's because Morgul Arbalests are orc units. And I do a shit ton of damage versus orcs. Same thing happened here. He just managed to survive. So I almost took out 2 Sunens and lost a little bit more than half my troops. So 4,300 here, 4,300 here. That's 8,600 dead troops. And I lost, let's say 1,200. We'll round this up to 12. And we'll round this up to 14. So I traded 2,600 troops for 8,600 troops. That's a great trade. And I don't get a lot of reports like this. I don't get lucky like this when I hit things like this very often. Like you've seen throughout the course of me reviewing all these reports, mostly when I send my Isildur or I let my Isildur get hit by something, it's a Khaldun. So this report really made me happy because I squished 2 pretty solid Sunins that would have done tremendous damage to some other armies. So this was a huge, and also look at the merit here, prestige merit, whatever you want to call it, 64 and 61. So that's 12,500 merit with 20 stamina. That's what you want right there. Anything else I want to look at here? Oh, so this is a cool fight. I'll just point this out. So I have started playing with something called a Legion March. You, as a leader of a fellowship or warband or a confidant or a captain. This is the first viable use of a captain I have came across in the game, and it excites me. You can go to a fortress, start something called, you can marshal forces there. It's basically like a rally, but instead of sending it towards a target at a specified time, it becomes a march that you can send. Now you can't send it to a tile you already own. It has to attack a red tile, and that's a limitation, and probably rightfully so, because I've heard some feedback about the Legion marches from previous seasons, and they tweaked it for this season. And like they used to use it, you could command like which army it hit first and stuff, and you could send it to like send them to just like tile for you. And I think that sounds like egregiously overpowered. So I think that probably the way that it is now, while it is and has its annoyances, it's probably more balanced. So here in my Legion March, Aracano Aracano? I don't know how to pronounce your name, bro. I'm sorry. This is my boy Swalisi, though, and this is, I believe, the name in Kenya of Turgon's brother. Just a little bit of nerd knowledge for you there. Smoked this not full Sunid. This is also a good Sunid, by the way. I thought. Maybe not. It's all purple. My bad. But it is max, so. And then he got squished against. Wait a minute, what happened here? Snoopy? Droopy. Okay, that's his second account. This is probably the better Sunid. Snoopy is probably his second account, and Droopy is maybe the better one. I could have it backwards. Snoopy, if you're watching this, leave me a comment. Let me know. And then D-Trope smoked this not full, barely anything Khaldun, and then smoked this Sunid here. And then Jepwee's Gil-galad, nothing really there to brag about. Then he got mashed by Bigfoot's Gothmog. This is a big boy Gothmog. The gear still has some opportunity for improvement too, but it's crazy to see Mog smash Gil-galad, and it's purely because of this Palantir with Tactical Mark. I mean, just the book is out on Gil-galad. You can't use evasion with him really anymore, but you want to use evasion because you want exorbitance. It's really tough. It's really tough. And also, by virtue of having the warlords, this Gil-galad got smoked. Let's see how much damage the warlords did. Yeah, 109,000 damage. Smash. And then after that came Danny, who came in here and wrecked this guy. And then my Elrond came and finished him up. And then I smashed Ace's Sunid, which is a rare feat for me. Ace is such a good skilled player. I rarely hit hit Ace any Ace armies with an army that I want to hit it with. He's so good at getting um, the matchup he wants. I don't even know how you're so good at that, bro. So this report really excited me because I finally was able to get a piece of Ace. Obviously, I would have preferred the Isildur would have hit this soon but my Elrond did pretty decent. Let me see. Yeah, still 14 out of 15. So I'm happy with this report all in all. I'm sure Ace was not. Sorry, Ace. And then I got mashed by this Sauron. But all in all, the Legion March did a very effective job because they were pushing towards Blackgate into Athelion. I'll show you the tile where this fight took place and what's happening there now, and it's a whole bunch of nothing. So they were starting to work their way down here following the road, and they let my Legion March hit. Maybe they didn't realize what it was going to do, but I smashed them. And then moments after that happened, um, what happened? Oh, they're just taking more of my farm. No big deal. Yeah, so moments after the Legion March hit this, somebody else took the tile. Uh, Danny took the tile with another army. So, and then we moved up and we were able to reclaim all this area. We've been going back and forth over here for days. It's been a lot of fun. So this video has gone again way too long. I apologize for that, and I thank you if you have taken the time to watch the whole thing. One last time, here's a look at the map. Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. I hope the rest of your day, your week, your month, or even your year, just kidding, your season, treat you well. Take care. Turgon the Wise, signing off. Cheers.